Hi, my name is Papiya and welcome back to Papiya Learning Live. Today we're going to talk about how to set up a contract between a coach and a coachee in a coaching session. So the methods of this tend to vary depending on the context. Many coaches rely on a written formal document, especially if they are an external coach coming into an organization. Some coaches actually prefer to use an introductory session as a verbal contract between the coach and the coachee. This initial spark that is formed in that introductory session in the contract is vital for the start of the coaching relationship. So much so that sometimes this can often be called a chemistry session as well. But don't worry, it's nothing weird. Essentially what the contracting is to establish some ground rules, really set the expectations, and it is an opportunity for the coach and the coachee to both decide whether or not this is something that's appropriate for them to move on with. So, how do you start to set up the contracting session once you're sat in the room with your coachee? First, it's about defining what coaching is and explaining what coaching isn't. So as a coach, an important thing is to kind of have a go-to definition of what coaching is, maybe a one-liner, just to clarify exactly what they're getting themselves into. It's also a good opportunity for you to understand whether or not they have had any coaching experiences themselves, so you can kind of tailor the rest of the sessions accordingly. Next, as I said earlier, taking that time to really start to understand each other. As you would with a friend or a colleague, ask the right questions about their background and also offer what your coaching background is like as well. So you're able to establish your own credibility and then also from the get-go get that clarity as to what they want to achieve within the next couple of coaching sessions. And then once you've done that, you can really start to help them visualize what the coaching sessions with you would look like. Now, this is an opportunity where you can start to explain to them that they will actually be in the driver's seat and the subject matter expert will be the coachee, and really start to define what the roles and responsibilities will be of you as the coach. That you'll be asking a lot of exploratory questions in order to try and prompt different perspectives of thinking, and you'll be there to act as a sounding board and help them using particular tools and techniques to really achieve the goals that they want to set. Next, probably the most important and consistent trait of a contracting session is establishing confidentiality. And this again is incredibly important for the coachee to understand that whatever is said inside of that coaching session will be kept inside those coaching sessions. You're not a representative of HR. This is not information that you'll be sending back to the line manager. If anything, it may be important to mention that you will be keeping a coaching log if you do that as a coach. And it might be the topic that you talk about just to kind of jog your own memory. But making it clear that whatever is discussed will be kept between the two of them. And that will hopefully help to build as much trust as possible from that initial session. It's also important though to clarify what information you would have to report if need be. And that is the unlikely case of the coachee revealing any information that is likely to pose danger or harm to themselves or anybody else. Often met with nervous laughter, but definitely important to make sure you clarify what is going to be kept confidential, which is the content of the coaching classes, but then also information you might have to share if need be. And then finally, comes the end and rounding off the coaching session. It's letting the coachee set the agenda. So now that they have all of the information about what a coaching session will look like from the contract, ask them, when do you want to meet? When do you want the first session to be? Now, again, depending on what the context is, if it is prepaid and if it is an external coach, there may already be an agenda set. But if that isn't the case, literally put them in the driver's seat to feel empowered of their own career and their own development. Clarify the amount of time that it could be, roughly an hour, but again, depending on the different context, coaching sessions can last from an hour to maybe 90 minutes, 2 hours in some instances. But this is when you start to establish that coaching is really tailored to the individual and you're there as support and you're really working towards their agenda and their timetable as well. So hopefully that's given some clarification as to how to set up the contracting session. If you're new to coaching, please do leave a comment and leave any experiences that you have for those initial contracting sessions. And I'd love to hear from you. What are your experiences of the benefits of contracting? Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't and like the video. And thank you so much. Bye.